It's school holidays here in Australia and the grom force are out in full swing.
Wow, it is pumping today, but it looks like everybody else knows about it. There's about 15 or 20 people in an area that's like the size of my kitchen. Not even that. So this is just what happens with the days of forecasting and all this sort of stuff. So what we're going to do is go and try and find somewhere else. Let's go.
Let's talk about catching waves when it's crowded and pumping. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe to the channel and join me on Instagram as well at Kale's Broccoli.
The worst thing about leaving pumping waves is that you get this sick feeling in your belly. It's called FOMO, fear of missing out, people. I know that there are good waves breaking right now and I'm not on them, but we've got to do the rounds. And that's our first point for today. It's knowing your area, because I don't want to surf with 20 people. I want to go and surf empty, perfect waves. That's what we're going to go and find, I hope.
Knowing your local area is critically important to be able to capitalise on good swells.
Tide's up right now, so we're kind of waiting to see what it does. Oh, by the way, Signature Sunnies, hello. Check them out, link below.
Oftentimes, I'll surf alone when it's pumping purely because days in advance, I have structured my day to work around the best parts of the tides and the swell at any given location. Local knowledge is an obvious but massively overlooked advantage when it comes to catching great waves in crowded lineups. So do some research and get on top of which conditions equal pumping waves in your area.
And at the risk of undoing everything that I've just talked about, guys, we're probably going to end up back where we started. There's just not enough sand structure today, but hey, at least I know that everywhere else is not pumping, and back where I first checked is. Hopefully there's less people there by now. I'm feeling positive. Let's go.
Ending up back where we started isn't totally unsurprising, but it means I'm now super hungry to get into some tubes. I managed to sneak into a couple, but the lineup is super tight, which makes it difficult to get a clean paddle into the waves. And this is something that's key if I don't want to waste them. Rule number one when it comes to surfing crowded waves or pumping waves is you want to be able to paddle in cleanly. By this, I mean you want to be able to paddle into the wave without any interruption. You want to be in the perfect spot. You want to have enough momentum to be able to get up, set your line, and do your thing, whether it's getting tubed or going and doing a big turn. Now, this can be sometimes difficult if there are lots of people in the water. Today, for instance, there were quite a few interruptions where I had to half paddle, I had to paddle over someone's leg rope. Because this is a particularly tight lineup, these things do occur. Now, part of owning a wave or owning your space and being politely assertive in the lineup is paddling early for a wave. And this is really important. But if you're in the perfect spot already, you're sitting and waiting in the perfect spot for a wave, you kind of don't have anywhere to paddle. And often it's that early paddle that can scare off anyone else from actually going for your wave, unless it's someone else's turn, etc., etc. So that early paddle, that move is really important. So what I like to do, instead of sitting in the sweet spot, which we'll mark with an X here, I actually like to sit a little bit deeper, 2 or 3 meters deeper than I would like to be in terms of where I want to be taking off. I don't sit on that spot, I sit 2 or 3 meters deeper, particularly with a crowded lineup. That way, as soon as I see the wave that I want, and I want to own that wave, I'm able to paddle early into the spot with enough time. I'm going to pick up momentum along the way, and everyone else hopefully is going to back off out the way. That's a really smart, intelligent way to own the wave, own your space, and do it politely. It's important though to still remain wary of other surfers whilst making your paddling move. If it's actually someone else's turn, they still might swing and go for the wave, in which case you'll need to let it go and be out of their way. Remember, the idea is to be politely assertive here, not ruthless or blinded by desire for the wave. The next principle that I want to talk about is remaining patient and also contemplative. I can't tell you how many times I've been out in the lineup and am only interested in the in-betweeners, right, and have paddled for one, fallen off, or just missed one only to cop one of the waves that I was scared of on the head. It's really important to know the frequency of the sets on these days where it's pumping and it's crowded, so that you can actually make informed decisions about your actions. Now, I always like to be open to the in-betweeners, open to catching them, because there are indeed gems to be found. I found some today. But it's really important to take your time in making those decisions and be really careful when you do. If you're going to duck to the inside to try and quickly sneak a wave before a set comes, then you want to make sure that you're going to catch that wave and not miss it and then be stuck in someone else's way or stuck in the road of a 6-foot wave. You'll naturally catch less waves when it's pumping and crowded. Bigger waves means more work, normally longer intervals, and of course, more people. Keeping this in mind during your session will ensure you remain calm and don't over-froth in the lineup. Over-frothing is only going to make you enemies in the lineup. Most people, when it's pumping and crowded, just want to focus and just want to be in the zone in order to, number one, stay safe, but also, number two, to catch waves when they do come. In saying that, though, I think it's really important that once you do commit to a wave, you have to catch it. One of the worst things that can happen for you as a surfer is to call other people off a wave and act as if it's yours and it's a good one, and then pull back on the wave. That is one of the worst things you can do, because you'll immediately lose the respect of the people in the lineup. You have to drop back to the back of the line, and the chances of other people actually allowing you to do that again are pretty slim. So it's important that you do go, even if you think you're going to eat it, just go. This commitment offers a few advantages. You just might get a sick wave. Even if you do fall off, people will respect you for giving it a try. And lastly, you'll most probably realize that falling off and getting wiped out isn't as bad as you thought it was going to be. I honestly find that every time I go out in bigger waves and push myself, I want it to be bigger and better the next time. You walk away more confident after these types of sessions. It's sometimes one of my worst nightmares to be surrounded by people in such a tight pack in the lineup, but when the waves are firing, you've kind of got no choice, especially seeing as we checked everywhere else today. But I tell you what, I had a great time. I got some good tubes. It was super fun. If you guys want to come surfing with me this year, I'm going to be running a bunch of retreats. I'd love for you to join me. So make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, comment below. I'm going to be announcing them here and also on my Instagram at Kale's Broccoli. You can come surfing with me there as well. I'm going to go home, I'm going to get some food, I'm going to chill out, then I'm going to get back out there because I know this afternoon's going to be cooking. Thanks for tuning in, guys.